An old woman alone in her house at night, and a rumor arriving at her door. The rumor says her son turned his back, that he ran from the battle. She does not weep. She does not argue with the rumor. She picks up a sword and makes a vow so fierce it survives as a poem 2000 years later. To understand that vow, you must first understand the code, the warrior code of ancient Tamil Nadu. War was everywhere in this world, but war had rules. Before any battle began, heralds walked the length of the land with a warning. Cows, children, the sick, the holy, women. Leave now. This ground will become a battlefield. The armies waited until the innocent were gone. Then, and only then, war began. A warrior would not strike a man who had dropped his weapon in the dust, would not strike a man who fled, would not strike a man from behind. An enemy eating food could not be touched. A wounded man carried off, not finished. 2000 years before the Geneva Conventions, Tamil poets wrote the laws of war. Not because the kings were gentle, because honor mattered more than victory. A victory won without honor was not a victory. It was a stain that poems would remember. And the poets, remember from last episode, were the ones who decided who lived forever. Here is how deep the code ran. It began at birth. A newborn boy in a warrior clan was laid down gently beside a spear. His first toy, a wooden sword, his lullabies, songs of ancestors who fell facing forward. Mothers did not raise sons to be safe, they raised them to be worthy. That is the world our old woman with the sword was born into. Remember her. We will return. In this code, the human body itself became a map of honor. Wounds on the chest, glory. Proof you faced what came for you. Wounds on the back, shame. Proof you turned. Proof you ran. A dead warrior with wounds in front was celebrated, his family raised in honor. A man scarred on the back could not erase it. The mark told his story forever. This is why mothers walked battlefields, examining their fallen sons before weeping. You met one in episode 1. She checked the wounds and said, "Yes, that is my son." But the code went even further than the grave. Even dying had its rules. A great warrior or king facing shame, defeat, or dishonor could choose the ritual of the north. He would sit on open ground, facing north, sword laid across his knees. He refused all food, all water, and waited with total calm for death. You met one of them too. The Chera king at Veni, wounded in the back. He could not live with the mark, so he sat facing north, and the poets bowed. Now, return to the old woman with the sword. Her story has been waiting. Her hair was white. Her veins stood out on her arms like dry rivers. The rumor said her son had broken before the enemy. that he fled the line. Her vow, if he truly turned his back, I will cut off the breast that fed him. Sword in hand, she walked to the battlefield, an old woman among the dead. She turned over body after body in the grey light, searching, dreading, vowing. And then, among the fallen, she found him. Her son, fallen, still, his body cut through with wounds, every one of them in front. The poem says her joy in that moment was greater than on the day she bore him. Sit with that. Do not rush past it. A mother, a battlefield, and joy. That is not cruelty. That is a code so deep, it rewrote even a mother's heart. And when the warriors fell, the code followed them beyond death. A fallen hero was given a stone, a nadukal, a hero stone. His name carved, his deed carved, planted upright where roads crossed. Travelers stopped, poured offerings, lit lamps, prayed to the warrior in the stone. Ordinary men, farmers' sons, hunters, herdsmen, worshipped as gods because they fell facing forward. Thousands of these stones still stand across Tamil Nadu today. 2,000 years of rain and wind, and the stones are still standing guard. That was the bargain of the code. Die with honor, live forever. So what does a 2,000-year-old warrior code say to you sitting here in 2026? You will probably never hold a sword, but you know the feeling of turning your back. The conversation avoided, the truth not spoken, the hard thing postponed. The code asks one question in every century of every person. Which way were you facing? Facing forward does not mean winning. The mothers knew that best. Their sons fell and fell and fell. The pride was never about victory. It was never about the winning. It was about the direction of the wounds. Every hard thing you face instead of avoid, that is a wound in front. Every hero stone was once an ordinary person who simply did not turn. The code is not asking you to die for honor. Nobody is asking that. It is asking you to live facing forward. That is all it ever asked. Next episode, the kings themselves put down the sword and pick up the stylus. Kings who did not just command poems from their thrones, they wrote them. A captured king, denied a cup of water, whose last poem outlived the empire that jailed him. These stories waited 2,000 years to be told. And they are only just beginning. If the mother on the battlefield stayed with you, you are not alone. Subscribe to the Chronicles, a new ancient story every week. And tell me in one word, what are you facing forward right now?